Hello, welcome to Margaret's Storytime. Today, we're going to hear the story of the Pied Piper of Hamelin. This story comes from an old German legend that was collected and preserved by the Brothers Grimm. It tells us about the importance of keeping promises and treating others with honesty and fairness. Through this mysterious tale, we learn that breaking someone's trust can lead to consequences no one expects.
Are you ready? Let's dive into our story.
The Pied Piper of Hamelin, a German legend collected by the Brothers Grimm. Long ago, in the German town of Hamelin, the people faced a terrible problem. Rats were everywhere. They ran through the streets, hid inside houses, and ate the food stored in kitchens and shops. No matter what the townspeople tried, they could not make the rats go away. One day, a mysterious stranger arrived in Hamelin. He wore a long coat made of many bright colours and carried a small pipe at his side. The stranger introduced himself as a rat catcher. "I can free your town from every rat," he said, "but you must promise to pay me for my work." The town leaders quickly agreed and promised him a generous reward. The stranger took out his pipe and began to play a strange and beautiful melody. As the music floated through the streets, rats began to crawl out from every corner. They came from houses, barns, cellars, and shops. Hundreds of rats gathered around the piper and followed him through the town. Still playing his magical tune, the piper led the rats through the town gates and toward the river Weser. The rats followed him into the water and were carried away by the river. At last, Hamelin was free from its terrible problem. The townspeople cheered with joy. The piper returned to the town leaders and asked for the reward they had promised him. But now that the rats were gone, the leaders did not want to pay. "That was much too easy," they said. "Why should we give you so much money? For playing a little tune?" They offered him only a small part of the reward. The piper reminded them of their promise, but the leaders refused to listen. Angry and disappointed, he warned them that breaking a promise could bring terrible consequences. Still, the leaders laughed and sent him away without his proper payment. The piper left Hamelin, but he did not forget what had happened. Some time later, the piper returned to the town. Once again, he lifted his pipe and began to play. But this time, the melody was different. It was lighter, sweeter, and more enchanting than before. As the music filled the streets, the children of Hamelin came running from their homes. Smiling and dancing, the children followed the piper through the town. Their parents called after them, but the children seemed unable to hear anything except the magical music. The piper led them through the eastern gate and toward a great mountain outside Hamelin. A mysterious opening appeared in the mountainside, and the piper and the children entered. Then the mountain closed behind them. When the music stopped, the people of Hamelin realized what had happened. They searched through the countryside and called for their children, but they could not find them. The town leaders deeply regretted breaking their promise to the piper. They finally understood that their dishonesty had cost the town far more than the reward they had refused to pay. From that day forward, the people of Hamelin never forgot the children or the mysterious piper in the colourful coat. They told the story from one generation to the next as a warning about promises, fairness, and trust. And even today, the legend of the Pied Piper of Hamelin continues to be told around the world.
Now that our story is over, let's take a moment to think about today's tiny tales. What was your favourite part? And what did it make you think about?
So remember, just like this story showed us, a promise should not be forgotten. simply because keeping it has become difficult. When we give someone our word, we build trust between us. But when we break that promise, or treat someone unfairly, we may hurt others and lose something far more valuable than money. Being honest and keeping our promises helps people trust one another and makes our communities stronger.
Here's a little question to think about.
Why is it important to keep a promise, even when keeping it is difficult?
Tell someone close to you, and maybe you can talk about why. Thank you so much for joining me today. It was so much fun to share this story with you, and I can't wait to bring you more magical tales very soon. If you enjoyed today's story, don't forget to subscribe for more. There are many more stories waiting to be told here at Margaret's Storytime. See you next time.